Hello, Bill Clodsey here, back with another hour of Devastation draft, single elimination. I'm on quite the hot streak here. Before this, I hadn't chained together even 3 wins in a row, but this is 4 in a row, and working on 5 here, so we'll try to try to do well in this draft. We've got Oasis Ritualist, Torment of Venom, and Open Fire as kind of the standouts. I actually like Open Fire out of these. It leaves you open to just be any red deck, and a pretty cool blue-red deck if you get into that spells kind of thing. Driven to Despair is a good card, although that combination isn't always open. You need kind of an aggressive green-black deck, and green likes being kind of the top-end deck. I wonder actually about taking Ritualist out of this pack because it is so good in so many different decks, but yeah, the Open Fire is just a great pick here. Tough. I think since we do have that first Open Fire, we can take the second one and leave Ambuscade to someone else. Ronus Last Stand getting passed around too. It's been a while since I've played a Ronus Last Stand deck. I don't think it's a slam dunk bomb rare, but it is good, or it can be. It can be really bad sometimes too. Oh shoot, another Ambuscade. And no more rare cards, red cards here. Or rares for that matter. Yeah. Yeah, why don't we just take this Ambuscade. Best card in the pack. And I'm not too excited about Deadlands or anything else. The Moloch. Too bad we passed a few of these. Shoot, what now? Ambuscade into Inferno Jet or Sidewinder Naga or even Thorned Moloch. I like Inferno Jet here. I find that it just wins games out of nowhere, and we already have a bunch of burn, so that'll be our 12th point of burn. And red really disappearing. Hostile Desert, Desert of the Indomitable. Before taking the random colorless deserts, it's good to get some of the deserts that work with it. Even Wall of Forgotten Pharaohs would be fine here as kind of a burn card, but let's take the desert. Kenra's Scrapper. Kind of tempted by the Merciless Eternal. Sorry, the Spellweaver Eternal. I'm not sure where I got Merciless from. There surely is some Merciless Eternal, but yeah, let's go with Kenra's Scrapper here. Keeps us on the red plan. And Hope Tender fills in our curve nicely. It also helps ramp up sometimes to that Inferno Jet mana that we might need later. And we are kind of green-red at the moment. Harrier Naga. Manalith and Unsummon would be considerations here, although Manalith doesn't really work with like the spells plan, the burn plan. Ramp and burn don't really go well together because both end up giving you card disadvantage. If you're just, playing Manalith into Inferno Jet, you have 2 cards that didn't affect the board. But shoot, I mean, the pack's not great otherwise. Normally I'd prefer Manalith and Unsummon both over Harrier Naga, but in this pack I think we just go with the 3/3. That's absolutely nuts. Oasis Ritualist Wheeling in 2017? You'd never expect this. In fact, I was really considering first picking it. Shoot, it might not be like the perfect card for our specific deck, but I'm going to take that as a huge signal. And Feral Prowler or Manalith. We could just splash anything with the Manalith, but I guess Feral Prowler at this point kind of does what we want. Thorned Moloch, sure, get in there. So good with things like Ambuscade and Open Fire. Yeah, I guess this leaves us open to play some big payoffs in red and green and even other colors. Like, it'd be nice to open something like the Scorpion God or the Locust God, because we could easily splash that off of some deserts or our Ritualist. Here he is again. We've got Thorned Moloch. Tempted to take Scavenger Grounds for the sideboard, but Thorned Moloch is just fine here. Another Harrier Naga. And foil island that doesn't look like an island, or a foil or a regular forest that doesn't look like a forest. I guess we go for the foil. So a quick plug for my Twitter. Sometimes I'll post the decks. I've posted the last 4 decks that I've won with on Twitter because I thought that was kind of cool to to win this many in a row. Kind of a first for me. Yeah, so you can check some of those out, and they're pretty different too, which is surprising. Hey, there's a payoff. Sifter Worm for the ramp that we have. I'm not sure what our deck's really doing at this point, but Sifter Worm's just such a good bomb. And if cards like Oasis Ritualist are wheeling, we might get past more of those, and that's just great. Desert's Hold, yeah, Sifter Worm's just great. Now then, another open fire, so we'll have many of these. Wildfire Eternal, which is decent but not insane. Generally, the other 4 drops in the format are just better. I'll be happy enough with open fire here, and hopefully we can find some card draw spells. We don't have any desert payoffs, so the desert isn't as appealing. Just take our 3rd open fire. And forget about it. Wall of Forgotten Pharaohs. There's kind of a desert payoff. And with all the burn we have and lack of 2-drops, it's kind of what we need right now. Inferno Jet. We can start looking for Aftermath cards that'll be nice to hit off of Sifter Worm, gain a bunch of life. Right now, our biggest payoff is hitting Inferno Jet. Gain 6 life, deal 6 damage. Attack for 7. Yeah, I'm kind of out of my comfort zone in this deck because it's a little strange to be defensive late game deck with a bunch of 2/2 blockers for 3 in these Thorned Molochs. They do have prowess. And that does help. Alright, Firebrand Archer. Something to do early. Also something that gets in incremental damage where we could finish them off with Inferno Jet. I guess that's the pick. The better cards here might be Eternals of Harsh Truths, Striped Riverwinders, Gilded Ceradon, but I like the Firebrand Archer. It might be something good for our deck. Another desert here. At this point we have enough playables heading into pack 3 that we don't need to really pick Rampaging Hippo over a desert, and the desert's going to be good in this deck no matter what. We'll always make the deck, and it will always make it better. Ramanop Ruins, perfect. A really fine addition to any burn deck or aggressive deck, or really any just deck that's playing red, which we are. Makes me want another desert. Hollow One is fine. We don't have a plethora of cyclers right now, so it's not nearly as good. We could pick up something like a Tormenting Voice in pack 3, which makes it a bit better, but it's good with, I don't know. It's good to have deserts first. Alright, another Kenra Scrapper, but our 3-drop slot is fine if we're really kind of on the half-aggressive plan. So, another desert to feed our Ramanop Ruins. And here we see the Sidewinder Naga as kind of an upgrade to one of the Molochs, maybe. I like that effect. Reason to Believe, Hard to Splash, Bitterbow Sharpshooters. A good card all around. It's going to let us hit something better off of Sifter Worm and kind of continue into the mid or late game. Ooh, another one. Sure. Happy with that. Chandra's Defeat for the sideboard. I'm actually surprised at how little these have performed. The uncommon color hosers in the past were often hosing 2 colors, like the enemy colors, white would hose black and red or whatever. These that hose 1, it's really nice to be able to bring them in. They are powerful. It just doesn't come up as often as I would have thought. Ceradon. Ceradon's nice. We have 4 deserts here. Crash Through is not exciting. Works a little bit with Firebrand Archer, but that's about it. And the Thorned Molochs. Take a saving grace from someone. Hopefully, I mean, the best card to open would be Glorybringer. It's just the best card in the whole format. Regal Caracal is good too, but it's no Glorybringer, and it definitely doesn't work in our deck. So, what about Limits of Solidarity versus Sheffet Monitor? Both kind of good with Sifter Worm. the Sheffet Monitor gaining more life and possibly ramping up to it. Limits is more of a burn card, works well with Thorned Molochs, force some damage in. Might wheel on this table, whereas Sheffet Monitor, you really wouldn't expect that card to wheel. I'll take the limits here. I think we can build a half aggressive deck. And that's a nice payoff here. Heaven to Earth. Here's our Tormenting Voice. But Heaven to Earth, just such a nice way to kill flyers. We don't have a good way of dealing with those until we get our sharpshooters down. I guess it's a 3 mana card for Sifter Worm if you hit it off the scry. So that's not great, but at least it's something. And yeah, I think it's just going to be the pick here. We're in the right colors. It can reset the board when we need it to. One of the many wraths of this format, Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation. What are we going to cut out of this? We probably should cut something. Getting there. Colossipede versus the Emberhorn Minotaur. Minotaur's good. Bitterbow Sharpshooters are kind of on the same footing as Colossipede for power level. The vigilance and reach shores up some of the weaknesses to flyers and whatnot. Especially when you're racing, vigilance is quite powerful. Anyway, the Minotaur fits in our curve nicely and probably just an easy pick there. Dissenter's Deliverance. Now I like a Glyph Keeper. We didn't pick up a critical mass of Ritualists that we can just splash any double color, off color card. So yeah, Tormenting Voice is one thing, but there's a lot of artifacts you need to worry about in this format, and Deliverance deals with them. Ooh, here we go. Sandworm, I guess there's some argument to be made for Naga Vitalist, but this is the next biggest thing after Sifter Worm to reveal with it. If we really have to, we can just pitch it and cycle. Colossipede or Stinging Shot. Taking a look at our 5-drop slot, we already have 3 good cards. We don't need more. Now we have to start cutting cards, and Stinging Shot is a pretty good one to think about for our sideboard. Pouncing Cheetah. Bloodlust Inciter. I like that. Gives us a little punch. Cradle. Grasp. And that should about do it for our deck. Maybe we need 1 cut. Already cut a Thorned Moloch, and we can kind of hedge our bets here by cutting also a Harrier Naga. And that's still 16 creatures. It still gives us a powerful play of any of our creatures after Bloodlust Inciter. Limits is a nice finisher. Triple Open Fire, got some nice removal here. And then 17 lands. We have 3 cycling deserts, but we also have plenty of cycling cards in the Greater Sandworm, Limits, and that kind of thing. So that should be a nice balance of lands and spells. Stinging Shot is another one I like including in decks like this. Maybe it could fill in for Feral Prowler, but that is a nice blocker early on. Something that you don't mind killing with Earth. Quarry Hauler. Alright, I'm kind of over it. Let's cut the Feral Prowler. If we take a look at our mana curve and account for some of the cyclers we have, we don't have a ton to do early, but we have enough to do on turn 3 to catch up. We could even skip a 3-drop and play a 4-drop off the Hope Tender if we really needed to. Yeah, deck has everything it needs, really. It can steal some games with Inferno Jet and Limits. It can stabilize after playing Sifter Worm and Greater Sandworm, and really packs a punch with some quality removal spells and Burn to the Face, and even reset the board with Heaven to Earth from time to time. So fortunately, the colors were pretty open for us, and we put something like this together. Got to keep in mind Spidery Grasp and Stinging Shot and even Dissenter's Deliverance from the sideboard. But yeah, the creature base we have, the mix is good enough that you know, we don't need to bring in another Thorned Moloch over a Sidewinder Naga or anything like that. Color, wow, right down the middle, green and red. We might want a little more red to begin with. That looks about right. We're going to be cutting more red anyway for our deserts. And I don't love running Cradle of the Accursed. Shoot. Oh, I couldn't select that. I don't love running Cradle here. Although, we could cut a green for it, so not that there's a huge reason to do that. We have a Wall of Forgotten Pharaohs, we have a Ramanop Ruins, and a Sidewinder Naga, but already 4 deserts. So if it turns out that we need a little more sort of power from our cards, we could side in the Cradle if we're on the draw or something. Just put that in for a forest. But I'll go for the consistency now since we'll choose to be on the play. And let's try this one out. Yep, that's about right. For our deck with very few low drops, mulligan this. Get something a little bit better. Opponent's down to 6 as well. The gentleman's mulligan here. Get out of here, Lizard. Lizard will be our last draw of the game. And we should just... I think we just play Bloodlust Inciter here. We don't have a great turn 2 play. If we draw land, we might even cycle this. More likely, we just play out the desert on turn 2 and attack for 1. End up cycling Limits first, and then Greater Sandworm, digging for green, or any land. Now, ooh, I guess that's fine. I suppose that is fine. And attacking would be one thing, but we could also just give this haste and ping them, since we have that desert in play. Saves us 3 damage this turn. Oh, there we go. That's the real deal. Gideon. Okay, I thought they were going to do it on the wall, but I guess not. And now we want to pressure Gideon here. They could have gotten in for some more damage maybe if they did it that way. To defeat Gideon, we might want limits, so I'm going to cycle the Greater Sandworm to try to find land here. Of course we don't. Yeah, they might just start attacking with Gideon, if I had to guess. 17 lands plus 2 ramp spells, and we're just not getting there this game. Alright, bring it on. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to him this turn. So we're not going to be able to redirect, but yeah, maybe we should have done Wall of Forgotten Pharaohs in response. Live and learn. Okay. Taken 4. I mean, it's not going well, that's for sure. But we should not... I don't really care about this. We should definitely not redirect, because it would prevent it. It's my understanding of it anyway. Oh yeah, that's good. Shoot, well, limits might be able to kill Gideon, but not if we don't draw any land. So that was just not meant to be, even if we draw land next turn. Just not meant to be. Alright, we can do better. Hopefully. It's not even a great reason to bring in our 2-drop, because it doesn't do much against this. But we'll be on the play again. Much more reasonable hand. They haven't seen much of our second color yet. And once again, we'll Kind of want to cycle the limits to find more pressure. I'd hate to waste an open fire on this thing. Are they gonna slam Gideon again? Yep, they got it. It's possible they don't activate it. Shoot. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Not ideal, but we're going to be using all our mana next turn. Get Gideon a little lower for now. This doesn't hurt planeswalkers, does it? It's not an earthquake. I feel like when such a rock hits the ground, you wouldn't be able to see it all that well. It would just be a big old flash. But not on Amonkhet. This is how it works on Amonkhet. Thank goodness. So we killed Gideon here, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's damage, right? 2 damage to each opponent. Redirect to Gideon. And we did it. We stabilized. They play another one. Cool. Well, no more Ambuscade to worry about just yet. We could try to set up a big Heaven to Earth turn, but I'm just going to run out the Sharpshooter next turn. It seems to deal with everything. And if they kill it and then deploy a creature, we'll have a way to get back into this. Shoot, what have they done? Like a 4 for 2? It's pretty good. Ambuscade. Ambuscade would still kill us here. Yeah, the card is ridiculous. Every time my opponent plays 2 Ambuscades, I just lose really badly. See if they play one more creature. But yeah, we'll just run out Heaven here. Maybe they'll play a flyer. Would be nice. They don't need to run out any more creatures. In fact, they could definitely be playing around Heaven to Earth. Okay, well, they're not doing that quite yet. Oh, great. All right, so we're going to scoop up a little 4 for 1. Might as well spend all our mana on this. Kill all the flyers. So, we need to do this for 3, and that should wipe everything. And then play our own Inciter. And they play 3 more creatures. Nope, maybe a 6-drop. Huh, there's the flyer. Okay, well, looks like they're going to get in 3. They put us at 5. But we'll have mana for both our things next turn. So let's actually start attacking here. And using Ambuscade doesn't do anything this turn. Open Fire barely does anything. It just makes them play it out again. Ooh, not good. Not good. So Ambuscade takes care of Magmaroth. And honestly, we should just use Open Fire on this now. because we don't want them to draw the trick or to have an ambuscade or anything. So that's back. But we do have a 2-turn clock. Don't need to exert that because it has menace, and this thing won't be able to block anyway. So hopefully they don't have that pump spell. Then we could take it. Force a game 3. Nice. All right, stinging shot coming in for some more anti-flying. Yeah, the 4-for-1 was just too much. If they played a little more conservatively, they might not have died to all that. What's good against ambuscade? Chandra's Defeat. Did I not realize they had red stuff? I mean, they're Naya, but Chandra's Defeat's going to be excellent here. That's going to be a good one. Wall is okay. Scrapper, a million open fires. Ambuscade's good. Maybe Limits is not so good. I feel like it's actually quite strong against cards like Gideon. We'll be on the draw. We don't want to give up our 1 and 2 drops. I could see cutting Harrier Naga as one of the weaker cards, although Thorned Moloch, even though we have some spells to cast with it, it's just not as good on defense as something like Harrier Naga. You do a little work, you make it a 3-3 blocker. This is already a 3-3 blocker. Even that we might just cut. Our other stuff looks good too. Yeah, run it back like this. And being on the draw is not the worst, since we do have many removal spells. They're down to 6, all right. This might be it. This might be the this might be the draft. So what do we do? Cycle the desert, since we have what looks to be a lot of lands. I think we can cycle the desert. You're going to expect to draw lands and spells throughout the game. So if in the next 3 turns we draw a land, makes sense to do this. Oh, that means they have some big stuff in their hand. They have all their colors, but they're not playing anything. Well, I'm playing this little blocker here. It'll get ambuscaded, surely. But not on our turn anyway. Oh boy. More flyers. I'm glad we brought in the anti-flying. Yeah, this attack makes sense. If they do double block it, we can open fire a thing. And I think we're actually just being more aggressive here at the moment. Especially since we have 6 or even 8 points of burn in our hand and a Vigilance dude to block later. There's no way their deck can be have as much reach as ours, literally and sort of in the sense of burn. Okay, so they're just gonna exert that dude, get a couple more damage in this turn, play a Colossopede. That is all fine. So what do we do? Take like 7 next turn, down to 5. That seems decent. We'll have to just attack here and exert here. Well, hold on. If we exert both, it puts them at nah, we shouldn't exert both. But we should definitely exert this one. 7, that puts them to 11. And if we get a hit in somewhere, we should be in decent shape here. It just really depends on what they have left. They get in 5. Maybe they... Oh, they're going to ambuscade here. This is going to hurt. 7, 9. It puts us at 3. Oh, they don't have it. Well, that's good news. I wonder what it is. Alright, it's getting real scary. Things are getting real scary right about now, because we might just lose next turn. But if we don't lose next turn, I like our chances. We play Hope Tender, that's another blocker. We can open fire the Tawcrop Elite. There's no way we win this turn, right? We could limit the Archer. Attack for 8. That's just not going to do it. Limits our own thing. 5, 9, 10, yeah, I mean 4. Attack for 8. Then they have to block something. And this would just attack for 2 the next turn anyway. Yeah, let's make them block this turn. What if they double block the sharpshooter? I guess that's fine. And if they choose to take it all, they're dead to open fire. Cool, I think. What if they have that gain 6 life spell? It's the only thing I could think about that would do it. So maybe we stop on our end step. Hope Tender, they just want to win this next turn. Is there anything that gains life for like 4 mana instead of 5? Yeah, I'll do this before they draw though. We're not even necessarily dead if they survived here and attacked all out, right? Because we can block 8, 3, 4. We take 6. So yeah, if they had life gain and nothing else, then we'd still win. All right, we got it. Round 2 versus Steinerson. Opponent's down to 6. A lot of mulliganing this tournament. It's all right with me. See if they take the plunge to 5. No, they're keeping. But they don't like their top card, so that's, I guess, what you want to see. We can kind of curve out here. In Firebrand Archer into Cycle Inferno Jet. The dream. We have Plague Wind. Destroy all our opponent's creatures. Pretty good. We even have some bonuses casting that. Shoot, we put so many stops on, as if that was going to help us. Take this off now. Okay, Fanbearer just coming in. And there is some merit to cycling Inferno Jet here, but it's a little more greedy to just play out Firebrand Archer before missing the land drop. It might mean we have to cycle this next turn, whereas if we cycled it this turn, then we could have played a 3-drop next turn. But you get the idea. I think playing a little greedy is going to pay off here. Of course, now we're getting slaughtered. We've got most of our open fires. And the only thing we can do here is cycle. Nice to hit our land drop, though. I wonder if they'll have an untapped spell for the Crasher. If they do, we're still taking a whole lot of damage, and we couldn't block anyway. It would force the Exert. Like, the worst case here is they play that 3/3 Sparring Mummy that untaps this. They attack for 4 without having to Exert. Unlikely, though. It's not a common card you see anymore, and it was never that good, but they do have the mana. Here's another much worse Mummy even, 2/5. Something we can't attack through. Yeah, we'll save Ambuscade for bigger fish and just kill the Crasher. There's a limit to how much damage I want to take. That could be wrong. Maybe it's better to get Kenra Scrapper into play. That way we could sort of trade with the on-crop crasher, then hold up removal later. I don't want to risk it, because that gives them the option of just using Fanbearer, playing another 3-1 or something. Neither creature can block, and we take 5. No attacking. Shoot. Here's Glorybringer. No. Thank goodness. Thank goodness it's not Glorybringer. Although, what are we supposed to do about this? We can attack. They don't want to block with either creature. Surely, I mean, they could have Jer's Resolve. Whoops, we missed it. Oh, how did we miss that? It would have been a good attack. But I suppose waiting is another option. I'm just going to pass here. There's some world in which they just attack with everything, and then we can kill Fanbearer and Tawcrop Elite 2 for 2. But we take 3, so it's not the best, but should be fine. Now they have 2 more zombies in the bank. Okay, they're not going for that exactly, but they're not exerting either, so yeah, could be worse. And they only have 1 card left, so it might be that they don't have any trick, and it seems like they do not. Oh, but what is this? Zombie number 1. Ambuscade does pretty well there. They tap down Firebrand Archer. So our best bet is to play Kenra Scrapper, and I'd be happy to trade the Archer with the zombie. You know, they could tap down one thing, and then tap down another on their turn to get in 4. We're still not dead to that. We'll see how it works out, how it plays out here. Alright, they are fine to trade, and so am I. I mean, we can't take too many more hits before we're dead. Or before they could play their own Inferno Jet. Wouldn't be surprised if it came out of their list. Pretty low cost to put a card like this in your deck. You could play multiples and just find a time to cycle it. Alright, and they still have that pesky cycling over there, or tapping. What are you to do? Just play this. Go to combat. Okay, so that thing's getting tapped. And then what? Do we want to play Thorned Moloch to try to trade with their zombie again? Or Wall of Forgotten Pharaohs, so we could do like Ambuscade and... Or sorry, yeah, we should do the 3-drop here. Yeah, let's do the 3-drop. Then we can Ambuscade and Wall next turn, or just play a 5-drop. Who's winning this game? If they don't draw any cards or play anything for the rest of the game, do we even win? I think we'd win that game. But assuming they have anything else to do, we're in bad shape. We might not even win that game. They just attack for 2 here. I guess that's a good sign. Except, okay, they don't have Inferno Jet. That's good. That's a good sign too. Whoops. Let's do Wall, Ambuscade the Fanbearer. And if that's not good enough to stabilize, then nothing is. Huh, they'll let us attack. Well, yeah, you could do that. And let's just ambuscade on their turn. Definitely worth considering doing it here, but we might need to defeat something like a, I don't know, like some flying spell. If they just go unconventional tactics on the zombie, then that's pretty bad for us. The real reason, and we probably should have done this, is so that they can't just tap something else with a fan bearer. Well, let's make this block. And then ambuscade doesn't give toughness except by the prowess. So what we'll do is punch the fan bearer with the scrapper. So that sets up this block nicely. Looks like they have more mana that they want to use after this. Once the fan bearer is dead, we can block anything with the Wall of Forgotten Pharaohs, and the Thorned Moloch survives that. Draw land next turn, we play out 2 cards. Might be getting back into stabilization here. And even if they have removal for this, we'd still block the 2 damage and our lizard would live. So they're just playing a 2/2. Just a deck full of scrubs. Sharpshooter strikes me as a safer play here. Could have attacked with the Moloch. Yeah, that might have been a fine play. They double block it and then trade, which is what would happen on defense anyway. So maybe it's not actually that good. Don't want to try to get greedy there and try to draw land off the desert. We'll just save it for later. This gives us a nice little clock, stopping the 2/5 from blocking and still leaving up 3 blockers. Now, if they want to double block either creature, be my guest. Yeah, I guess the one they'd really want to double block is the Ceradon, which stops the servants from blocking. But that does leave us in a good spot. Leaves us with our, like, 15-turn clock there. Alright, they like their creatures. Maybe a good sign for us. Oh, Hour of Revelation. Alright. Gets rid of Desert's Hold, at the very least. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's exact, so they don't have to pay as much. And now we are free to cycle, since we'll have enough mana left over. Maybe we'll hit something better than a Quarry Hauler. No such luck. Could have saved it for bluffing, but we also have Sifter Worms and things. Ooh, Solitary Camel. That's a really good against our Quarry Hauler. We'll just have to trade off here. Our 4-point life swing is not going to compete with their 6-point life swing. They've got something like shoot, what's it called? 7 damage to target creature, and they don't want to spend it on our camel. Impeccable timing. Yeah, some silver lining there. Shoot. Do we take 1 hit from this, then we die to a single open fire? No, I guess we're better off trying to kill it here. There it is. Oh man, I kind of like the ruins. But it is just a land after all. Bottom, even further on the bottom, and then open fire on top. And after one hit of the worm, oh no. That was a good answer to it. They could even shuffle our deck if they don't want us to draw open fire. Yeah, sure, but our graveyard was stacked. So was theirs. Nice. Come on. Let us get in there. And then dead next turn to Inciter plus Sharpshooter. If they have nothing. Sandblast, well that's not nothing. Sifter off the top would be just about the best. That's also fine. Although Fanbear is not an easy one to play against, especially with the Inciter. Come on. Now, to force them to tap the Minotaur, we just play it like this. And we might as well get them down to 3. If they build up a bigger defense later, then our cards won't be as lethal. Or 3 removal spells. There we go. Sifter Worm, you're so good. Yeah, that'll wrap that game up. And what do we need? They've just got a lot of white stuff mostly. Yeah, another Naya deck. I like it how it is. They also have some just random 2/2 zombies. Maybe we bring in our own Cradle to do well in the late game. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Also, Harrier Nagas get a bit better against random 2/2s, but yeah, let's see about this. All right, a fine hand. This is huge. This is the game, or the match we want to win. Keep up our roll here. Playing the desert looks correct here when we have another one that we're going to sacrifice later and a couple 5-drops in our hand. Good ones, too. Honored Crop Champion. Can't deal with that yet. So do we cycle limits? I guess we do. Doesn't do much now when we're on the defensive. It's going to be a long time before this wins us the game. There's not a lot of cute things we can do with it either. So here, kill that thing. That represents like 4 damage next turn, which is not great for us, or even more if they play a haste creature. Can they save it? Juror's Resolve's the only thing. And then it's a good idea for them to save it, for sure. So, shoot, we go Ritualist into Greater Sandworm if we want. But definitely Ritualist this turn. Why can't I why can't I spend 4 mana? That was awkward. 7 Sandworm, yeah, we're just gonna play out some Sharpshooters. Even the Hope Tender doesn't seem worth exerting the Ritualist for. Yeah, this is the Ritualist that wheeled, by the way, so we'll see how much work it gets done. Not much. Definitely not much. We are hitting these important land drops, though. Just keep playing better creatures until they fold. What is this mirror entity? Funny creature. Funny avatar. It's going to be tough for them to kill the Sharpshooters off this many mana, especially if they're just playing vanilla bears. What do you suppose they do? They've got to respect a trick, so they can't just block this. The faster we attack, the easier it is for to bluff, but I'm happy trading 2 for 1 anyway. Yeah, so there's no way they block here. They don't really need to, for 1. But then again, they can't really attack through it, so might have been their only chance to try. Hold on, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll go up to 8 here. If they get that 3rd plains and they have Hour of Revelation, we could be in some serious trouble. So we shouldn't play anything else out to the board unless we win. Let them play the first thing. And it doesn't look like we win. So let's just attack. I wonder if they let the Inciter through. That'd be kind of silly. Just attack with these 2. They might not even have the plains, so maybe it was right to get the Sandworm out there. Just force them to have it the next turn. But we're probably okay just to keep attacking like this for a while. The Servants is kind of a problem. Yeah. But it does make Sandworm a better play. 7. This is the 8th permanent. Yeah, so taking 2 permanents off the board was good there. Now they can hold up and tap it. This all looks really good. Ambuscade, a great draw there, of course. Naturally. So what they're going to do is tap the Sandworm, even if we give Hope Tender haste. And then they'll only have 1 blocker. And we can punch through that without much difficulty. Using Ambuscade to finish off Fanbearer. So hopefully they make the block Servants on Sharpshooter. And then we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That's kind of where Ambuscade shines. And if they play around that specifically, oh, that kind of sucks. Anything else? No, looks like this is it. Yes, do it, do it, do it. All right. Yeah, I don't think they could afford to play around Ambuscade anyway, but it's going to work out really well here. Okay. So they do end up finishing off the sharpshooter, but not before it kills its target. Got it. All right, on to the finals. If we win this, that'll be 5 single elimination drafts in a row. You might say, prove it. Prove you're doing so well. So here's the play thing. And starting with this match here against Dwags. Oh, not that one. That's the one we lost. Starting with this one with Arbika. Just won the last bunch, and if you do that, your rating shoots up. So it's probably the second or third time ever my limited rating's been above 1900, but there it is, or at 1900. Yeah, keeping this. Good hand. Good way to start things off here. Alright, what do we do? Yeah, we're going to want the deserts in play for the ruins anyway, and we can just kind of keep ramping up to our 5 drops and 7 drops. Green. Green's a good color. Mono green? We'll find out soon enough. It is green-white. Green-white beneath the sands. So, overwhelming splendor might be on the horizon. Anyway, we've got a nice little 4-2 trample for them to deal with. Don't outclass it. Playing a 4-4 here. Something we can kill with open fire would be ideal. Ooh, yeah, like that. Perfect. We could have seen if they wanted to block with it first. No skin off our back. Colossopede. Just play a bunch of sharpshooters here. Because their Colossopede does not have vigilance. Can't really attack. Should we even attack? Probably not. Till we get an ambuscade or something. Just keep developing. Because we'd have to spend our open fire. Stalemate. Oh no. Just ritualist.deck over there. We need something better. Cycle this. Yeah. That is a lot of burn. But it really is time to start trying to trade off here. Two for one ourselves against this Colossopede, but we have another 7 burn on the table. And if they let us get 8 in, that's also pretty good. So we will have to spend an open fire on the Colossopede. Obzon. It's been a while since I've seen an Obzon deck. I wonder what they're splashing for. Nothing good. Or nothing good for us, anyway. A bunch of white and black curses. Would be my guess. So next turn we were in a lot of trouble. Okay, so they're also thinking about double blocking one of our sharpshooters, which is totally reasonable. Or this. Or that. Yeah, I like this, I guess. All of our open fires. So do they have some kind of trick? Or exert to cycle something? Our defense against it is just open fire. Sandblast the other one. Alright, well, it's about the best we can do here, but they definitely end up ahead after all that. What is this monster? Well, it's a good one we can take down. I think we take another hit off it to see if we can convince them to play another creature. Maybe another flyer, even. Oh, geez. Sifter Worm time? No, it's 8. Overwhelming Splendor. That's really bad, I think. It stops us from using Ramanop Ruins. But it doesn't stop us from using Aftermath. In any case, let's kill that bird. Kill the bird. I don't know. Six, and then we can play a 1/1 and start the beats. It's done its damage. So many ritualists. We just have to use open fire to get in any damage here. Sounds about right. And no answer for the Splendor in our deck as far as I can tell. So we can't cycle, right? That's an ability. I just want to concede. They're going to take a while and then they're going to beat us. Like, we can't even use the ruins. Yeah, after a quick check, we just don't have any outs. Like, Sifter Worm just doesn't do anything. Enter the battlefield effects don't happen. And we have no answer to the Splendor, so I'm assuming they've got it there. So how do we fight that? Guess we don't. Maybe get super aggressive with some more Thorned Molochs. Take out our own Ritualist. Do it to it. Stinging Shot is good again. But, I mean, not amazing, but pretty good. Yeah. It's as good a hand as any. And it gives us a Cycler. To try to hit our third land. Ooh, nice. Good one. So the best creature to play here is the Naga, most average damage. And then hit another land and keep going off. Alright, so no play from them. They're going to hold up Sandblast here. I wonder if that was a bluff. But in any case, I'm not going to fall for it. Seems like they might have had something to do there, yeah. If it was a bluff, it was a good one. But yeah, now they won't be able to do that. Shoot, this is a bit interesting if we had another red, because we could have them block and then finish it off with Earth without kill. Well, I guess it would still kill our guy, so it's not not as good as I was thinking. But we still get to attack with both. Worry about Colossopede later. And they might respect it if they really need their Ritualist. They might not have the second planes or enough mana to get up to 8 in 2 turns. And they're well enough off if they cast a Sifter Worm or something next turn. Yeah, let's just go for... If we had 5 mana, we could do two other things, but let's just do Hope Tender and Inciter and give our next play haste. That's 7 if they like it. Or just a Colossopede, or that. 4 more to work with. Yeah, let's go with the Scrapper. Oh, shoot. Should have given that haste. Yeah, I'm not sure what I was thinking there. I meant to, and then pressed F3, but it was already in combat, so they passed. Now they, of course, they have Sandblast. They represented it on turn 3. Yep. And here's the big finale. Untap everything. Oh, another finale. Sandworm Convergence. Beaten by the best. And we just don't have any outs to that. Like, we can kill a couple worms. But we have no answer to the Convergence. We don't have Nissa's Defeat or anything. Yeah, that'll just about do it. End to the winning spree here. So I guess I'll be briefly enjoying my 1900 rating before dropping a little bit. And we are just well and truly out of this game. You know, if they were a little less life total, we do have, let's see, about 15 burn in our deck. But even that, we're just not going to get any damage for the rest of the game here. Now's our last chance. We have even more if we consider the Ramenup Ruins, but that's if we draw perfectly for the rest of the game. So anyway, thanks for watching, and catch you next time.